games here tonight, and Brian Goorjian, he is not alone. Tab Baldwin also keeping his cards close to his chest.
I think it's a big psychological advantage if you can win the first one, especially at home. You know, we really want to get on top of them, and the first game's the only chance to do that. So we're putting everything into this game. I told the guys last night in a meeting, we throw everything in our system at them tonight, and we want to win this game desperately bad.
Yeah, well, I guess the last time you played, you didn't show your cards. Tonight, you'll be able to.
Well, certainly we want to use everything in our repertoire tonight, and you know, as it's needed, not just throw it out there to throw it out there. And I suspect this is going to be a hell of a basketball game, and tactically I feel we'll have to use everything we've got. But still, it's going to come down to the guys' effort and their intensity on the night, and where the Australians going to be at. How much are they going to bring to the game? And you know, as I said, this is a big one for us.
And the Burger King Tall Blacks tonight, they will go with Rampton, Pero Cameron, the captain, of course, Dylan Boucher, who's been there before, so too Phil Jones, and Mark Dickel, as we look at the Haka on the court, not the field. Well, I'll tell you what, the challenge has been issued already by Dylan Boucher.
He certainly enjoys doing that. He gets well into that, Haka, and usually ends up in the other team's face.
Dylan Boucher has won 8 NBL championships here domestically. He is undoubtedly pumped up for this one here tonight. Our match officials, our refereeing troika, headed by the referee from Finland, Carl Youngerbrand, Michael Allen from across the Tasman with the local whistler Dallas Pickering, who incidentally gets a start here tonight despite a protest, if you like, from the New Zealand officials to FIBA before this game, Kenny.
Yeah, Tall Blacks had requested that he not participate. They aren't good friends. I don't think they had lunch today, and won't have dinner after the game. And Tab Baldwin was adamant that he not participate in this game. That fell on deaf ears, so they will proceed with Dallas Pickering as one of the 3 officials.
So high drama, pre-match, pre-series. Final instructions from Tab Baldwin.
Secondary in the basin, their man, right? Or just straight basic entry on a dead ball. Unless we call a set. Got it? All right? Get your kid on those boards. Secondary in the basic on a rebound.
The Aussies, they have won 4 straight against the old enemy. Last time New Zealand won, of course, was last year in Christchurch.
A big key for the Tall Blacks tonight is going to be the start. We saw over in Sydney off to a slow start. They were really run over there to start that first quarter down 16-1. They've got to get a better start, not be overawed by the occasion, come out, play hard, be settled. From the Tall Blacks on offense, we'll see a lot more sets out of them. They ran more of a continuity offense where it just runs and runs. We'll see a lot more set plays with designed shots to get out of them tonight. Tab Baldwin and the Tall Blacks had a lot of success with those in China before they had Australia around scouting, and they'll look to go back and run out of those sets. As Tab talked about in that pregame interview, they'll throw everything at them.
Mark Dickel promoted to the starting 5 tonight. Of course, he did come off the bench on Friday night in that Four Nations match in Sydney. We are set for tip-off in the 2005 Jeep Oceania Series, and it will be the Aussies with the first opportunity. CJ Bruton.
You see the Tall Blacks immediately start in that 2-3 zone.
Jason Smith, Saville, shot clock down to single numbers. Nielsen's got it. Guarded by Rampton. Kicks it out to Smith. He pulls the trigger, rattles out of the rim. They get it back, the Boomers. Halliwell, the big man, barging around, but they've got it back, New Zealand.
Good steal by Dylan Boucher. We'll see him all over the place defensively. Got his hand on another ball there.
Phil Jones putting it on the floor from the top of the key. Splash! What a start! What a sizzling start for the Tall Blacks.
And that's what we needed to see from Phil. When he feels it, he'll get high.
Aussies now with Jason Smith. Saville. Smith. They got it back. It's come off Dickel. They've got 9 seconds to play with here, but an encouraging start for Phil Jones on a personal note.
Yeah, he struggled a bit in Sydney, just never got the opportunity. Teams focused on him. There, another good rebound by Tony Rampton.
Dickel with the ball carrying duties, guarded by CJ Bruton. Boucher, Jones, and Boucher nowhere to go. Cameron goes upstairs, couldn't make it tumble, and Smith has got it for Australia.
A nice fake, get to the basket, but just got to finish those.
Jason Smith, captain of the Sydney Kings. Halliwell, tough shot, he manufactures it though. Good play, Australia on the board.
Yeah, that's going to be the key in that zone. If they can find the gaps, it may force the Tall Blacks back into a man-to-man. If Tall Blacks can be active, they can create some trouble for the Boomers.
Dickel, back to Boucher. Shot clock down to single numbers. Phil Jones, the mid-range jumper, jumps out of the cylinder, and Australia will have possession here.
It's going to be a key for the Tall Blacks to get a lot of movement in that offense. They can keep the ball moving, keep players moving, and get some easy opportunities. They'll be doing good.
Jason Smith, Saville in the corner, caught the front of the iron, and Phil Jones with the defensive rebound. Pass goes astray, it's been intercepted by Jason Smith. He reads the game so well, doesn't he?
Yeah, those are the unforced turnovers that just drive a coach crazy.
Saville to Smith, and CJ Bruton. His father, an NBL Hall of Famer on the other side of the Tasman, American-born, Aussie-bred. There's the fake. He kicks it out to Saville. He pulls the trigger, and the shot is off the money. Rampton's got it, and New Zealand back up the floor. Dickel has to retreat, get the ball back to PC from downtown. He can't knock it down. Australia with Saville, and they've turned it over. How did that happen?
Dylan Boucher, again, hands everywhere.
Dickel, small man trying to go upstairs. There was a tough shot. Halliwell was blocking his path.
Yeah, it's a bit ambitious to take it against Halliwell. Probably should have pulled it out, looked to execute an offense.
It was a big mismatch. Nielsen, Smith. Australia leading 3-2. Early days in game one. Halliwell, has he got a shot? Has he what? Big man, he can do a few things.
He's got both baskets for the Boomers right in the middle of that zone.
Halliwell putting Australia in the lead by one. Smith with the assist. Cameron goes to Dickel. He fires. He overcooks the shot. Never looked likely. Nielsen with the rebound.
That's going to be important that Dickel knocks one of those down. He's been struggling from the three-point line, and the Boomers are going to let him shoot that shot.
Halliwell. Saville puts it on the floor. Goes to CJ. He fires. Too much mustard on that one. And they've...
Oh, he's called a foul. He's got Dylan Boucher for a foul reaching in. Halliwell presenting some problems for the Tall Blacks.
Michael Allen with the call. And we have a timeout. We've got Worthington checking into the game. Saville sitting down already as we watch the replay.
Yeah, no one, or Tony Rampton tried to get a body on Halliwell to keep him off the boards and just wasn't successful.
For a moment I thought they called them in for a chat. Smith has got it. Worthington, his first touch. Nielsen. CJ Bruton. Smith. Tony Rampton, can he keep it in play? Well,
good hustle by the big man.
Big hustle from a big man. The tallest man on the floor. Australia, their second turnover of the match.
Yeah, it's important now that the Tall Blacks come down and capitalize on that. Neither team started off shooting the ball well.
Midway through the opening term here, Phil Jones can't quite connect. Dickel, that's good hustle. He got the rebound and he gets the call. That's enterprising stuff from Sparky Dickel.
Yeah, nice hustle there. Good look by Phil Jones. Again, you'd like to see that one go down after hitting the first one. But good job by Sparky getting in on that offensive board.
Jones fires and
There we
connects
go.
from the land of plenty. And the Tall Blacks lead by 2. Phil Jones with 2 shots from beyond the arc.
Now we'll watch this. Tab Baldwin and Dallas Pickering. This may be something to watch throughout the game. Bit tough to see there as the referee walked in front of the picture, but they called Tony Rampton for moving. Watch the Boomers anytime they get the ball in the middle around the free throw line, they're going to take it to the basket.
Worthington. Smith. Alley well in the corner, guarded by Rampton. And almost got it back, New Zealand. Worthington, CJ, thought about it. And they turn it over. That's a soft turnover from a player we've come to expect so much more from.
And this active zone's really caused the Boomers some problems. Tab was hoping that they wouldn't have thought too much about the zone, but and starting out, and we've given some problems, and so far it has.
Dylan Boucher to Phil Jones. Is he feeling it? Not quite. And some body contact there between Nielsen and Dickel. The Boomers quickly back up the floor. Smith's been double teamed and he coughs it up. They force the mistake yet again. Dickel off and running, looking at his options. Jones is one of them. Cameron to Dickel, guarded by Bruton. Boucher putting it on the floor. Wheeling and dealing. Rugby pass costs New Zealand here because Worthington's got it and comes back up the floor. With Nielsen in support, so too Smith.
It's just unfortunate for Boucher. He tried a bit out of control and lost his footing.
Worthington, he knocks it down. Sharpshooter in his own right. Australia back in front. 7 play 6, 4 to go in period number 1.
Yeah, good look there. Boucher coming down a little bit slow. Left a gap for the Boomers to take advantage of.
Phil Jones finds Dickel. Shot clock down to single numbers. Dickel defers to Rampton. That is long. And again, Australia back up the floor with Bruton. Worthington. Smith, Nielsen. Nielsen goes up, and it's off the money. Cameron with the rebound, back up the floor. Boucher.
Oh, beautiful
and Australia
pass.
on the back foot.
Oh, my goodness.
Big finish. Dickel comes up with the bucket. And New Zealand, they are back in front. It's a seesawing affair here in the Waitakere.
And it should be a Kiwi ball.
It is a Kiwi ball. Very straightforward, and straight away Brian Goorjian does not like what he sees. A timeout has been called by the Australian coach, and it's the Tall Blacks leading the Boomers by 1.
All right, listen up. We got to get some stuff going to the basket now. They may go zone, all right, coming out of here. So be ready to go ice.
You see that beautiful pass by Dylan Boucher. That's a tough pass to make. He threaded the needle. Nice bounce pass to Sparky Dickel for a nice layup. Beautiful execution.
So you're going down. Look at your man, all right? You burned it last time. He was expecting the screen. Bureau was open right there, okay? So look at that again. Play. He's playing off of you, expecting you to cut. I want you to go easy baskets down here.
We haven't got it going that end. Nothing easy down here. CJ, you're in the 2 spot. Brad, you're carrying it. Horace, you're the first picker. Daddy, you're the second picker. So you spot that high-low. In transition, find the high-low. All right, look at the start.
So a much better start here tonight from New Zealand compared to what they served up, of course, in period number 1 back in Sydney Town 5 nights ago.
Yeah, they haven't allowed the Boomers to get out and run like they did to start that game. The defense has been much better, as well as the rebounding.
And if you miss that game, of course, Kenny, New Zealand opened the scoring with the free throw to Boucher. Then Australia, they put on 16 unanswered points.
Yep, and now we see a new backcourt for the Tall Blacks with Lindsay Tate bringing it up, Kirk Penny checking in. A little bit more offense out there.
Penny, of course, did not suit up in the 11-point victory over Lithuania on Sunday at the Sydney Entertainment Centre. Worthington and Davidson, who has been called upon by Brian Goorjian perhaps a little earlier than he may have anticipated. Worthington, Davidson, and now CJ with the fake, double fake. Anderson, Bruton, shot clock down to 5. Someone has to get busy. Davidson, smallest man on the floor. And the call goes New Zealand's way.
Good pressure defense from the Tall Blacks. With Davidson checking in, they've got another outside threat with Worthington and Bruton. Gorgian was talking about getting high-low action between Nilsson and the other big man for the Boomers. And we'll see whether they get that going.
Cameron, guarded by Nielsen. And shot does not count. Offensive foul has been called here by the match officials. The Finnish referee, who is the neutral match official here tonight, he has spotted the infringement.
Yeah, Tony Rampton was trying to seal CJ Bruton and did it a bit aggressively and didn't get away with it.
Just over 2 minutes away from quarter time. Matthew Nielsen gets Australia back in front. His scoring is underway. It's the Aussies by 1.
First basket by Nielsen. We'll see whether he or how much of a role he'll play. I'm sure we'll see a lot from him as the game progresses.
Tony Rampton. Lovely assist it was. And Tate, he gets his scoring up and running. And again, the seesawing affair continues.
And that was all set up by a good back screen from Perro Cameron. He sealed Tate's defender. Lindsay found himself wide open under the basket.
CJ.
There's that man.
Is that a sign of things to come? His first bomb for the night. And now the Boomers, they lead by 2. Tate goes exploring, kicks it out to Penny. He knocks it down, Kirk Penny. Spent 10 days, of course, with the LA Clippers, not by fluke either.
Now, he can shoot the ball. We saw it over in Sydney in the game he was healthy for. He was knocking everything down. Great to see that start. Good penetration by Tate. Draw the defense. Penny open.
Anderson has to retreat. Bruton thought about it. Now steadies himself and knocks it down. He'll take that. Rim or not. CJ with back-to-back triples.
You shoot that kind of a shot when you're feeling it, and he's feeling it. Nice penetration by Phil Jones along the baseline.
Phil Jones has 8 of New Zealand's 15 points. We have a tied ball game into the final minute here of the first quarter. Game 1 of the Jeep Oceania series. CJ Bruton guarded by Tate, and now pulling the trigger. Anderson, he knocks it down. The mid-range jumper is good to go.
And Boomers have found that free throw line area open. We saw Worthington hit one or a couple earlier, and they're leaving that open. They've got to protect that part of the zone.
1 second differential between game clock and shot clock. Phil Jones, perhaps he's the man to fire. He will be. Tough shot, doesn't tumble. That is quarter time here at the Trust Stadium in the Waitakere. And we have a very, very competitive match on our hands here tonight. Early days, of course, but it's the Boomers by 2.
Mark.
Judy.
Lawyer.
Librarian.
Pisces.
Leo.
Joke.
Chicken Road.
Hilarious. Movies.
Music.
Books.
Art.
Travel.
Shopping.
Dinner.
Your place.
Candles.
Red wine.
Teriyaki.
Chili and lime.
Honesty.
Commitment.
Support.
Leg.
Breast. Big villa.
Beach house.
Children.
Girl.
Boy.
Both.
Not working.
Drifting apart.
Always be friends.
Miss you already.
It's my shirt.
Tegel good to go hot cooked chicken. For people in a hurry.
Take good care of my baby. Please don't ever make her blue. Just tell her that you love
Help protect your assets with a family trust from Public Trust. Otherwise, your child's future partner could split and take half. Public Trust's team of lawyers and family trust specialists can help you protect your family's future. Call now.
Come to the Lighting Plus birthday sale and save up to 50%. These floor lamps are now only $24.50, and there's 20% off these wall lights, plus much more in store. Hurry, it's for 2 weeks only.
More than just great prices, Lighting Plus.
Meet Pablo Martinez. He roasts Latin America's boldest Arabica coffee. He kneels day after day after day, worshipping Nescafe Alta Rica. You'll go a long way for coffee like this. Or just visit the website for a free sample.
Welcome back to the Trust Stadium. We're at quarter time. We have the Australian Boomers leading the Tall Blacks by 2. And New Zealand showing signs tonight that they are certainly up for this all-important series opener.
Yeah, I thought at both ends they're much better tonight. Offensively, though they only had 15 points, they were getting good looks at the basket. Probably not as much going to the basket as Tam Baldwin would like, but they're getting good looks. Defensively, that zone gave the Boomers some problems. We'll see if they continue in that zone or go to a man-to-man to start this second quarter.
Anderson, big man for the Boomers as we get back underway. Period number 2. Penny and Book. Great post player he has been, of course, for the Nelson Giants on the domestic scene. Boucher, Tate. Shot clock down to 6. And the rim rocker straight away. Bradshaw makes his presence felt.
And they get a great pass, great finish. Can't ask for better than that.
Again, we have a tight ball game. CJ is feeling it all right. That is nothing but the bottom of the net.
That's 3 of those for him so far. They've got to keep someone close to him.
Well, that was the pre-match talk, of course, Kenny. Who would guard Bruton? Who would keep him quiet? So far, we're seeing danger signs. Book, Penny. Screen set by Book. Penny considering his options. They turn it over. That was messy.
That was just a sloppy pass there from Penny. Ed Book had the mismatch. Just didn't take their time. Got to be patient with that.
Anderson guarded by Bradshaw. CJ says, give it to me. Not on this occasion. Anderson got it back for the Boomers. A second opportunity here for the green and golds.
They're going to force those outside shots. They can't allow a second opportunity.
Saville working off the window. He gets the job done, and the lead expands to 5. Saville, his first bucket of the night.
And it was a sweet one at that, a runner off the glass. That's a tough shot to make. He made it look easy.
Glenn Saville, one of the marquee players with the Wollongong Hawks franchise in the Aussie NBL. Tate measures it, and that is off the money.
That's a good look for Lindsay. Just needs to knock that down. This is a bit of a danger area for the Tall Blacks at the moment as Australia's pushed it out to 5 points. Can't afford to give up another one, especially a 3 on this possession.
Again, it is CJ Bruton with the ball carrying duties. Saville, Bruton. He was left naked. Somehow for New Zealand, it cost them nothing.
Yeah, the type of defense that the Tall Blacks are running right now.
Penny couldn't sink it either. Saville back up the floor for the Boomers. Bruton puts it on the floor. Foul's been called on Dylan Boucher. His second personal foul.
The defense that Tall Blacks are running right now, they'll start out in a man-to-man, and as soon as there's any screen up high, they're going to drop back to a 2-3 zone. That time, Craig Bradshaw was the top man. As they went into the zone, he started running back, left CJ Bruton wide open. Fortunately for the Tall Blacks, he wasn't able to convert on that one.
Saville, Smith, Nielsen posting up on Bradshaw. He gets the job done despite that attention.
Yeah, he said, young guy, let me show you how it's done. Just did a nice little drop step, up with the jump hook, made it look easy.
Biggest margin of the game thus far. Lead is out to 7. Bradshaw has got some problems. He hands it on to Dickel. Shot clock down to 7. Dickel goes exploring into the paint. Bats it back to Penny. He works baseline, barges into Saville. Shot clock expires in the background. And Australia will get it back.
Yeah, too much standing around, too little movement in that offense. The ball got stuck on the wing with Bradshaw. Not a lot happened.
Tab Baldwin has called in the troops. 7:08 to go in this first half, and it's the Boomers by 7.
Real good job on the defense.
Well, so far so good for Brian Goorjian. For Tab Baldwin, it's a different story.
Yeah, he needs to get some more. He's bringing Peril Cameron back in to give him some more leadership offensively. let's hear what he has to say.
Post and receiving the ball, okay? Look for the pull through and the dribble. All right? Look for the pull through. Here's the other thing I want you to do. If we go strong side, now watch this. If we go strong side, okay? I don't care where the big comes from. I don't want anybody in that corner. All right? I want to be there, there, and there. Big there, ball there. I want to pick and flare. Or hey, attack it down the middle, draw and kick. Okay? That's strong side out of motion.
Looking to run a bit of a spread offense there. Great penetration by Lindsey Tate, and a nice finish there by the young Craig Bradshaw.
Stick that on your highlights reel.
That'll certainly be on his.
Undoubtedly.
And that penetration with Tom Ball was just talking about there, getting isolation for Dickel, allowing him to penetrate, looking for someone to flare, a shooter to flare, and either take it to the basket or kick for this jump shot.
Glenn Saville shares it with Smith, now to Nielsen. He's guarded by Cameron. Anderson, a brute shot clock, down to single numbers. Dickel, watching him like a hawk. Nielsen pulls the trigger, he connects. From long range, Matthew Nielsen. And the lead all of a sudden is out to double figures for the first time here tonight. The Boomers, they've scored the last 10.
And it's through the two danger men that we talked about, C.J. Bruton and Matt Nielsen.
It's the Sydney Kings connection. Kirk Penny, double team, shot was rejected, and Australia back up the floor. Jason Smith pulls the trigger, and this is not a good look for the Tall Blacks. Smith, his first shot of the night, and he knocked it down. Good scoring play from Jason Smith. 13-point ball game. All of a sudden, Book puts it on the floor. They need a bucket here just to steady the ship, the Boomers, or rather the Tall Blacks, but it's all the Boomers at the moment.
And there was not one black jersey in there for an offensive rebound.
Nielsen, Anderson shooting over Book. He knocks it down. And Australia, they are on a roll. 15-0 run. What a run it has been. Shades of turn one in Sydney last Friday night. Penny goes upstairs. Finish was close, but not good enough.
They needed that one. When you get that opportunity, you've got to knock it down, especially in this situation where the Boomers have such a big run on. Every basket is needed.
Shot clock down to single numbers. C.J. Bruton. Saville fires and knocks it down. It is one-way traffic in the Waitakere.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Tall Blacks went back to that zone that they had some success with in the first half, or first quarter rather.
We're into the second half of the second period, and this second term has certainly been dominated by the visitors. Australia's lead out to 18 points. Penny sits down, so does C.J. Bruton.
And that's been a quick 18-point lead that they've built.
That was rapid fire.
That was.
Tall Blacks with 8 seconds to play with here. Cameron shares it with Dickel, guarded by Davidson. He pulls the trigger and he connects. Boy, oh boy, did they need that or what?
They needed that big time, and probably from an unlikely source as well, with Dickel hitting the three. They'll take the points wherever they can get them at the moment.
Cameron with the assist. Nielsen in the corner, guarded by Book. Saville, Smith with the fake. Now he fires. That's long. And good hustle here from Davidson. Australia, they get it back. They're hungry here, Kenny.
They are. Matt Nielsen just barged his way, got a hand on it, tipped it out. And now another 2 points.
This time it's Anderson. 17-point spread, 4:10 to go in this first half. And of course, so much riding on game one of the series.
It is. The Tall Blacks can't allow this to get much bigger. They've got to just start chipping away, and it's got to start getting good shots here and good defense at the other end.
Phil Jones. Nielsen has been barged out of the game by Pero Cameron. Cameron's in trouble here. His first personal, a spectacular one at that.
Matt Nielsen just nodding his head. We'll see it here as he goes for boom.
Put a seatbelt on next time you do that. Here's Jason Smith. He connects. The Boomers, they are hot to trot. Cameron having plenty to say in the background. 40 plays 20. Can you believe it?
I'm just stunned. It was such a competitive first quarter, and all of a sudden the Boomers turned up their defense, and Tallbuck probably didn't get what they wanted out of their half-court offense.
Shot counts.
I think they got Anderson for that foul.
Yeah, Book knocked it down for 3, and the foul has been called.
This may be the play that starts to turn things around for the Tallbucks.
The 34-year-old Ed Book firing, and eventually it tumbled.
We see that three. Didn't really see what happened off the ball. Whether Anderson thought he'd give it a little payback for the bump again.
Chance now for the two coaches to have a chat. The Boomers, big leaders. The margin is 17.
If they go man, I want to go down. If they go zone, I want to go zone 2. Got it? For you, okay? Now, listen, what I want to do in down is I want Ed here, okay? Screening there.
In the post, guys drop a little bit. Do you understand what I'm saying? On the ball swing, if you're chest to chest, they're laying that out. Let him go and right at him, and the ball side post drop. I'm going to mix in a little bit of zone here. All right, a little bit of 13, make sure we're matched up. This 324, we really want to be strong with the ball. Hey, great ball movement. It's early. Long time to go.
See the Australian Brains Trust there. Brendan Joyce in the background, but obviously the man in charge is Gorgie. And let's listen to Tab.
Come on, boys. Come on. Team, 1, 2, 3, team.
Long way to go, of course, tonight, Kenny. A long way to go in this one.
It is an interesting chess match there. We saw at the beginning Tab Baldwin talking about if they go man or if they go zone. At the other end, Brian Gorgian saying we're going to go some zone. Throw that in there. So we'll see how they mix it up and how the Tallbucks counter.
Diggle to get us back underway here. Just under 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. Pero Cameron puts it on the floor. Foul has been called here against, I think it's Anderson.
He might have taken Nielsen for this one as Pero Cameron tried to get some penetration there.
It is Matthew Nielsen, and too much contact there in the eyes of the match officials, so Nielsen has been pinged as a result. Dickel again to get us back underway. Aaron Olsen, be keen to knock one down here. Such a critical stage in the match. He's got the ball as we speak. Phil Jones, guarded by Davidson. Pero Cameron firing over the top. It was short by a long way. And the Tallbucks, they do get it back.
Yeah, not the best look. He had to really arch that shot to get it over the defender. A little too much and never drew any iron, so there's still 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Phil Jones firing straight away. That's off the money, gets his own rebound. They'll take that. A second opportunity. Olsen fires, and it's a good one.
This is his home.
He knows this place like the back of his hand, of course. Such a key man for the New Zealand Breakers, part of their inaugural team, and scored a game high, if memory serves me right. 40 points, as I guess, check the numbers, against the Townsville Crocodiles early last year.
I remember that game. He did it from everywhere. Layups, threes. Good opportunity now for the Tallbucks to continue to close this gap down to 14. It was up to 20. See if they can get another look at the basket. We see the Boomers start out in that zone.
Olsen, speak of the devil. He tries to share it with Book. They turn it over. Nielsen back up the floor. The consummate professional.
He just settles it down.
Then he pulls the trigger. That's off the money.
Good job by Phil Jones getting the box out there. Interesting that Brad Davidson checks out, CJ Bruton checks in. One of the things over in Sydney that Brian Gorgian talked about, and that was their struggles when CJ Bruton was out of the game. Since he's been out, the Tallbucks have been able to close that gap.
Of course, just on the breakers, you'll see all their home games exclusively live on Sky Sport during the course of the coming summer. Dickel now goes to Olsen. He fires, can't knock it down. He's there to clean up. Olsen goes again from close range, and he gets the job done.
Good hustle by both players. Cameron getting the rebound. Olsen staying active, found the gap, got to the basket. We're down to 12 points right now.
Yes, Australia have conceded the last 8. So this is the run that New Zealand want to keep going, and it was a long time coming as well.
Gorgian warned his guys, it's a long time to go. We can't get complacent now, just keep playing. Worthington's checking in now. Smith takes a break.
Worthington, Bruton, CJ goes to Worthington, and now Anderson looking to work it off the window, and New Zealand here will pick up possession. 94 seconds away from the major break. Eighth turnover, Kenny, of the match against the visitors.
Really like to see going into halftime this lead by the Boomers in single digits.
Dickel, Olsen, Cameron, Book, and doesn't tumble, never looked likely. Dickel trying to stop CJ from weaving his magic, but Bruton is up to it. He's into double figures.